The Hey Eddie podcast is brought to you by, is your white shirt looking kind of gray? Are your socks more bleh than bright? Did your mom say, what happened to your clothes for the third time this week? You need Transfiguration detergent. One scoop in your clothes won't just be clean, they'll be dazzling radiant, whiter than anyone in the world could bleach them. Your shirt will glow so bright, your friends will shield their eyes. Your socks will shine so hard, people will think you're walking on tiny clouds. Your underwear will... Actually, nobody needs to see that. Warning, do not wear freshly washed clothes on a mountain. You may attract ancient prophets. Tommy from Nazareth says, I use Transfiguration detergent, and now Moses and Elijah want to hang out with me. Transfiguration detergent, so bright, even your dad will notice. Available wherever fake products are sold. This is the Hey Eddie podcast. I'm your host, Cousin Michael. The Hey Eddie podcast is dedicated to helping kids like my cool cousin Eddie learn about the Bible and learn important lessons about God, about Jesus, and about life. The Bible is indeed God's gift to kids, a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. On today's episode of the Hey Eddie podcast, we're going to be studying Mark chapter 9, verses 2 through 13, in a lesson titled The Sneak Preview. This lesson will teach us that we must listen to Jesus. Our key memory verse is Mark chapter 9, verse 7. This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him. Hey, Eddie. Okay, have you ever seen a movie trailer? You know, those previews that show you just a little bit of how awesome the movie is going to be? Well, today's story is kind of like that. Jesus gave 3 of his closest friends a sneak preview of something amazing. They got to see something nobody else had ever seen before. And then God's voice boomed out of the sky. This one's wild. Ready? Let's go. So about a week after Jesus told his disciples he was going to suffer and die and then rise again, he took 3 of them on a hike. Not just any hike. They climbed up a high mountain. Just Jesus, Peter, James, and John. No crowds, no Pharisees, nobody else. And when they got to the top, something incredible happened. Jesus started to change right in front of them. The Bible says he was transfigured. That's a big word that means he was transformed. His clothes became so white, not just clean white, but glowing white, brighter than anything in the world. Brighter than the sun on fresh snow, brighter than anything a washing machine could ever do. It was like the real Jesus, the heavenly, glorious King of everything Jesus, was shining through. Peter, James, and John just stood there with their mouths hanging open. They had no idea what to do. But wait, it gets even crazier. Suddenly, 2 men appeared out of nowhere. And not just any men. It was Moses and Elijah. Now, Eddie, Moses and Elijah were 2 of the most famous people in the entire Bible. Moses led God's people out of Egypt and received the 10 Commandments. Elijah was a super powerful prophet who did amazing miracles and never even died. God took him straight to heaven in a whirlwind. And now, here they were, standing on a mountain, talking with Jesus. What were they talking about? We don't know exactly. But imagine being Peter and seeing that. Your brain would probably feel like it was doing backflips. So what did Peter do? Well, he opened his mouth and said something kind of silly. He said, Rabbi, it's so good to be here. Let's build 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. Peter wanted to stay there. He wanted to keep this amazing moment going forever. Build some tents, set up camp. Let's just live on the mountain with all this glory. But here's the problem. Peter was trying to skip ahead. He wanted the glory without the hard stuff. Remember, Jesus had just told them he was going to suffer and die first. Peter didn't want that part. He just wanted the shiny, awesome, glorious part. Mark even says Peter didn't really know what he was saying because he was so scared. And then a cloud rolled in and covered the whole mountaintop. Not a regular cloud, this was a God cloud, the kind of cloud that shows up when God himself is near. And out of that cloud came a voice, a big, powerful, thundering voice. And it said, "This is my son, whom I love. Listen to him." Whoa, that was God talking, the creator of the universe, and he said two huge things. First, Jesus is his son, his beloved, special, one and only son. Second, listen to him. Not listen to Peter, not listen to Moses, not listen to Elijah. Listen to Jesus. That means when Jesus says something, even if it sounds hard or confusing or scary, we need to pay attention because he's the one we're supposed to follow. And then poof, just like that, Moses and Elijah were gone. The cloud disappeared. The glowing stopped. And when the disciples looked around, there was only one person standing there. Just Jesus. No more special effects. No more glowing clothes. Just their teacher, their friend, their Lord, looking normal again. As they walked back down the mountain, Jesus told them, "Don't tell anyone what you saw until the Son of Man has risen from the dead." The disciples didn't totally understand. Risen from the dead? What does that mean? They also asked about Elijah. The teachers say Elijah has to come first before all the big stuff happens. Is that true? And Jesus said, "Yep, Elijah did come, but people treated him terribly." He was talking about John the Baptist. John came to get everyone ready for Jesus, and they killed him. And now Jesus was going to go through something even harder. But here's the thing, Eddie. On that mountain, the disciples got a sneak preview of where it was all heading. Yes, there would be suffering. Yes, there would be a cross. But on the other side, glory. Shining, bright, amazing glory. So what does this mean for you? First, the glory is coming, but not yet. Sometimes we want the easy, awesome stuff now, but God's plan usually includes some hard stuff first. That's okay. The best part is still coming. Second, listen to Jesus. That's what God himself said. When Jesus tells you something, through the Bible, through prayer, through people who love him, pay attention. Third, Jesus is more than he looks. On a regular day, Jesus looked like a normal guy. But on that mountain, the disciples saw who he really is, the glorious Son of God. And one day, everyone will see it. Fourth, don't try to skip ahead. Peter wanted to stay on the mountain and skip the hard parts. But you can't get to the glory without going through the tough stuff first. Trust the process. Trust Jesus. So the next time life feels hard, remember, this isn't the end of the movie. This is just the middle. The best part, the glorious part, is still coming. And until then, listen to Jesus. This has been the Hey Eddie Podcast. I'm your host, Cousin Michael. Remember that the Hey Eddie Podcast is dedicated to studying the Bible and learning important lessons about God, about Jesus, and about life. Today we discussed Mark chapter 9, verses 2 through 13. Tune in soon for another episode of the Hey Eddie Podcast, where we'll study Mark chapter 9, verses 14 through 29. Love you, Eddie.